This local contingent just from University High and Preston alone, I think we have upwards of 7 that qualified. Probably number 1 in the Big East, 1 or 2. So yeah, it's a good thing actually. Problem to have. Haven't decided exactly what we're doing with our All-American girls right now. Looking ahead to the national championships and trying to best maneuver ourselves through the the remaining few meets is still up in the air. After we decided to redshirt, Caitlin Williams had a little injury this winter, and we lost our pole vaulter, transferred her earlier in the semester. So that's put a hit on us a little bit. So we're looking at the indoor season really to maximize our chances at nationals and go out there and have the best Big East we can.
What have you decided with Chelsea? What are you going to do with her?
Well, as of today, she's going to she's going to do the multi. The one decision that we have to make is whether or not we're going to make a pitch this weekend to go for it in the DMR. And to go for it in the DMR means you got to have some fresh legs, which means we'll hold a couple girls out of some individuals and use them at the end of the meet. And if so, she doesn't know this yet, but she potentially could be running on that distance medley relay, the 400 leg. We lose a Bertilio, giving us 53s and 54 flats, but Chelsea's an animal this winter, and we know she can do it. So.
How about spacing for her events? Are you comfortable with the spacing in terms of times when she's got to run her races?
Yeah, really, she's I think in the driver's seat in the day-long competition in her multi. So. Although she's looking for the national championships, yeah, there is enough time. She's done things like this in the past. Then the next day would be for her relatively easy, a hurdle final. Knock on wood that she makes that final, and then come back on a 4x4. So, and then she'll rest to the nationals. We'll give her one little tune-up race, probably 1 or 2 little events, and by that point the hay will be in the barn.
How about all the different distance girls? Have you figured out how you're going to arrange them and what events you're going to run them? Because you got
all over the place. Realistically, I have a feeling we're going to move a couple of our good, really, really big-time All-Americans from last year, O'Connell and Christopher and Bland, uncharted territory. We might put them in the 3K this weekend. If we do that, then that'll allow them to be fresh in a DMR the night before, and they're tremendously prepared for that 3K. So, we've always been good in that event, and they can follow in the footsteps of the other greats, and that very realistically could be what we do there. Katie Gillespie, she's laid low the last 2 or 3 weeks, raced a lot early, smashed her PRs, been training great. She'll run a 5K. Sarah Bro. So the 2 national qualifiers in the fall will more than likely go 5,000 meters.
How beneficial will that meet over in Geneva be this weekend?
Yeah.
A lot of the girls talk about they don't know where they're at on the track. And
great question. Yeah, you got a coach. You see a coach now every 50 seconds, not every 35 seconds. And I think very much so. We went to Kent State early. We went to Geneva 2 weeks ago, and now we'll go back to Akron. So we'll probably have been on a 300 as much as anyone in the Big East this weekend.
Well, staff's going to be just as important as the runners because you got to get them out and spread around the track.
Exactly. And even for the vaulters and for the high jumpers and throwers, for everybody, the jumpers there. Those big indoor track facilities are very different. It's almost like you're in an outdoor meet. And so we've got a little experience.
I know the girls are excited too they like the way the track's laid out. I guess the bank turns. I guess it's really, whether it is or not, it's a psychologically it helps them. Talk about that a little bit.
It does. We train on a flat 200. We primarily, we go to Penn State a lot. With that facility they have over there, it's close meet for us. So a bank 200. Going to a 300 flat it's unique. I mean, it's supposed to be a very, very fast facility. But to be honest, the Big East is premier in many of the events that we participate in. So more than anything, it's just bringing great competition together and hoping your kids are ready.
I was going to say the field will take care of
it. Yeah, it sure will. Yeah, some of the distance medley relay, for instance, 4 or 5 teams, they'll only take 11 or 12 in the country, and 4 or 5 will come from the Big East.
How many do you have? I mean, you said I think around 20, covering about 12 events. Is that
that's what it is. And again, until we actually sit down as a staff in the next 36 hours and really hammer out what we're doing exactly. I guess it's a nice choice to have. We've got some big-time kids in this program, and one disappointment for us is Marie-Louise Aslan, and it's devastating, really, but it's something luckily that falls in line with our goals for the year. We wanted to qualify a number of kids for the nationals and still maintain a top 25 type ranking, and we have the kids that can do that. Bring Marie-Louise back in the spring. And, we have a chance to do something that we've never done before, and hopefully we'll do it at the Big East meet.
Well, I know your ultimate goal was kind of geared toward the summer or the outdoor
for the spring season. You bring back April Rotilio, and you bring the steeplechase, you bring the 10K in, events that have been great for us. Marie-Louise, obviously, early we didn't think she'd be suffering. You know, she's the only one that really, well, knock on wood again, really got hammered with this vicious flu a few weeks ago. And boy, you get that in your system 10 or 12 days out from the Big East Championships, you're in trouble. And we're going to do the right thing with her. And you know, she's done so much for us, and we're gonna get her back by spring, and hopefully send her off with a professional career.
Just not enough time to get.
Just it's not now. You know, tomorrow night we'll do a workout with her, and we'll see exactly where we are. But you know, my instincts tell me that, you know, when you've got a thoroughbred, you don't race them when they're limping. So.
And I understand too. You've got some girls that, fitness-wise, are in the best shape.
Best shape.
Kaylin and who are some of those?
Jessica O'Connell's. You know, she probably caught her best shape ever in the last week, and I think she's surpassing it. You know, Sarah Bro's in tremendous shape. Katie Gillespie's in the greatest shape of her life. To be honest, I wasn't sure how much she could help us indoors, even after her All-American in cross country. And boy, that kid's got some. She's got some wheels and even equal desire in track as she does in cross. So, yeah, she'll do a good job in the 5K Saturday night.
And I always ask this: how are you going to be able to resist the urge of running Chelsea in a few more?
Yeah, I know. It's hard, and some are even going to think we're doing a lot with her right now, but. You know, when I mentioned potentially this DMR with her, I think she'll be excited.